That's me putting out the comment section from the Man United clip. Jesus. I thought I was a Man United fanboy, but they attacked.
Jeez. Someone says, Jason, just admit it, you're a United fan. I don't think I've ever at one point even come close to saying I even have a soft spot for Man United.
Well, please do, because you might have the reverse effect on them, because every team you pledge allegiance to suffer, become diabolical. We already have a diabolical state United. Maybe if you pledge allegiance, back to the top they go. Who knows? But the clip was the players that Manchester United had to get rid of, and you cried out for the next one. We're going to make it serious. Why not? Give the fans what they want, give the people what they want. Arsenal, which players do they have to get rid of in order to become a title challenging team next year? And that will come with players that you have to add. You can't just get rid of players, because then you'll end up playing with like 7 guys, and maybe they'd split and come up with a chance.
Some teams' cases, that might work.
Yeah. But with Arsenal, it is an interesting one, because as you know, I love my Arsenal rants. This one is more, I think, set in stone. There's not as much controversy in this as there was with Manchester United. People are still crying that I included Januzaj. Oh, they've got potential. Potential for what? Potential for what?
That was my favorite part of the comment section, was they're like, Januzaj and Mata? No!
They can grow to what? A mid-level team? No.
They are.
No. Kevin De Bruyne's of the world can grow to be world-class players. I'm not saying they couldn't, but I'm not going to get into this here. What standard do they meet? They meet your new Manchester United standard. Imagine the Scholes and the Beckham era. No, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Anyway, to Arsenal. Here's the list. It was taken from the Metro, which stated the top 4 there, because I've included the 3 in the bottom with an asterisk, because they're already leaving. The contract has expired, and they are the deadwood of Arsenal that has to be rid of. Mikel Arteta, Thomas Rosicky, Flamini, 30+ years of age, good servants to the club, but a new era is needed. As for my 4...
But Francis, Giroud is like part of the reason they won like 3 straight games. But that was in March, and they were on top of the Premier League.
And you know why he helped them in those 3 games? Because they just released a underwear picture of Giroud, and his massive ego was fed, and he was feeling good.
I spelled it right this time, guys.
Giroud. Giroud. Anyway, so to look at those 4 players that I wanted to highlight, right? Theo Walcott linked with West Ham, injury prone, very similar to the person I'm going to mention underneath, who, by the way, will probably cause some controversy out of all these players. But Theo Walcott just is the bridesmaid of that front 3. If you can get 20 million for him, I don't think there's any Arsenal fans out there that will say that that is not a good deal, because you're going to get 20 million for a guy who was obviously signed at youth. He's delivered a decent amount of, I would say, numbers to the team, but he's not going to suddenly just become stronger physically. He's not going to suddenly become less injury prone, and he's not going to suddenly become that, I would say, instinctive, cold-blooded goal scorer, which you need. And that's the way Theo Walcott plays, because he's not got a good enough final product to play out wide, and he's not got that instinct in front of goal, and he's not got the ability to stay fit enough to be your star striker. So what are you doing with him? He just becomes another depth player. And in Arsenal's problem is you want to keep hold of all these depth players. That's how you've kept hold of Flamini and Arteta and these Rosickys, because Arsene Wenger likes to keep close to guys that he's entrusted, that he has looked to in the past, but it doesn't serve, I don't think, sufficient anymore.
Yeah, because
Arsenal need new blood.
Everything Arsene Wenger does is just obviously the most genius,
it's
creative
outdated
thing we've ever seen.
Yeah. The reason why that
by the way, I think he's going to sign a 2-year contract, a new 2-year contract.
There was a rumor today. I think
2018.
I think he discarded the rumor and says it was invented. I think that rumor of it, and I hope for Arsenal fans' sake that it is. I know he's a hero, legend, blah blah blah, but these players are now redundant and they are outdated. So the next one on the list is Oxlade Chamberlain, who, by the way, again, I'm a huge fan of Oxlade Chamberlain. He is an impact player. Bring him off the bench.
It's in all your tactics.
But in order to free up I think the funding to be able to sign a star quality striker, which I'm going to allude to towards the end, you have to free up the space. You cannot crowd that front line with all these in-depth players, your Welbecks, your Campbells, your Theo Walcott, your Chamberlains, when you don't have a star man to play up there. So you need to get rid of some of these dead weight players. That Oxlade Chamberlain could go to a Tottenham. I know he probably wouldn't, because that is a fierce switch, but he could thrive maybe if he goes over to a team that's growing, even like a Leicester. I think he would play well there if keeping him fit. But at Arsenal, he's no longer serving a prominent purpose, and that's a similar trait to all these players that I'm going to mention.
What about there's Mertesacker on here too, who's been a staple of the team for a while too. But Sanchez, not on the list, which would freak people out.
Of course it would.
It would freak everybody out. But he could go.
It depends on whether or not he wants to go. They wouldn't let him go. It's honestly going to be up to Alexis Sanchez's decision. Juventus apparently are circling the pond. and that would be a great fit for them, as we talked about, but they need to keep hold of their star quality. They're invaluable. Like I said before, I mentioned, I think Manchester United, for me, had like 2 or 3 invaluable players. Arsenal, similar boat. Bellerin, Alexis Sanchez, Ozil. I'm trying to say, maybe Petr.
Cech?
Yeah, maybe Petr.
Well, I remember before the season started, we all kind of sat there and were like, Arsenal made no moves at all except for Petr Cech, and how much is that going to pay off? And for about half the season, it looked like it was like a brilliant. It was a brilliant signing.
Until those players that they put so much of their weight on decided not to perform because inconsistency plagues Arsenal. Like Giroud, he's the inconsistent striker. Each of the successful teams that you've seen go on to win trophies, Leicester City, Jamie Vardy. Tottenham putting up a good title challenge, Harry Kane. Man City when they won it, Aguero. Chelsea when they won it, Diego Costa. Arsenal have just been falling short of a decent striker for how many years? Since Thierry Henry. They haven't had a star striker that people want to try. Here, bring Thierry Henry back. It'd be a better fit. So that's why Giroud is just a given for me. Hot and cold. It doesn't seem like a happy player at Arsenal. Send him packing and free up space for one of these 4 players. And just get them. Don't care about anything else. Just get one of these 2. It's either Higuain, Benzema, Zlatan, or you go local and you maybe try and take someone like a Lukaku to get the job done in there who's going to bring in your goals. You need a star striker. You need someone who's going to consistently bang in 17, 18, 19 goals a season for you in order for you to put up a title challenge. Giroud's not going to do it. Oxlade-Chamberlain coming in from the wide area is not going to do it. Theo Walcott's not going to do it. Danny Welbeck can't keep himself fit. He's out till 2017.
Higuain could do it?
Higuain could do it.
A lot of pressure.
Benzema, another person who will never move but is always teased.
But you're missing one. I had to make an element for it. It's element number F15.
Bring him back.
Oh, there it is.
Bring him back. Bring him back. All hail Lord Bentner to save Arsenal's future. And that was
Could you imagine
he
came there and 35 goals?
Well, he played there and he was a useful player. He'd come on off the bench, but he's just an idiot. He's just an idiot of a guy. It's the only way to describe him. But he's still fun. He's a poor man's Zlatan. That's exactly what he is.
So you add poor man's Zlatan with actual Zlatan. Not room for 2 Zlatan. What did Zlatan say, by the way?
Zlatan said he came in a king and left a legend. That was his mic drop moment in Paris when I know we had Kobe had a great outro speech. Then Barack Obama had a great one, and then Zlatan had to outdo them all.
I heard they're changing the Parc des Princes to the Parc des Zlatan.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
No Champions League finals for Zlatan.
No, but you never know. Manchester United are not going to be in Champions League football, I don't think. But Man United are
Zlatan don't do Europa League finals.
Yeah, I don't think. I think he'd probably pull himself out. He'd go to United, and it'd be one thing. I'm only playing in league games. Don't you dare make me play in the Europa League.
Galaxies, I also heard what's pegged. But you know, if he wants to come, it will be here. He can come and hang. Yeah,
I would love to have him here. The closer he is to me to try and get him in, the better. But I think he's very Greg Popovich-esque in his post-match. So he's a pretty tough question guy to ask.
A tough question.
What is it?
Hang out with Zlatan, hang out with Pirlo. Only one.
Hang out with Lilo.
You're weird.
Maybe both.
I
want them both.
I want Bentner. Get me Bentner!
So, and by the way, in the last one that we didn't really go into detail was Mertesacker, who I'm sure you just need a strong centre-back. Arsenal need a strong centre-back and a strong striker. Maybe go for someone that you're not going to get Hummels, because he's obviously got
Godin.
But Godin's a fantastic player, but why would he move? Why? I'm in the Champions League final. I was in the title race until the very last game.
London's a nice place.
Decent.
It's overcast, right?
But LA's a nice place. We're still not going to get them.
Godin can come here too.
Hit us in the comments. Right. What do you think of my suggestions for Arsenal players to leave? Do you think any of them were harsh? Did I miss anyone out? What about an Aaron Ramsey, who's another kind of useful player in and around that area? Coquelin, Cazorla. These players are all there.
Get them out.
Oh, just revamp the whole team according to Rubinator.
Get them out.
Hit us in the comments. TYT Sports, Francis_Maxwell, Twitter, Jason Rubin91. Come back again.